Hello, what's up, people who are watching this either via Twitter, via Patreon, via YouTube, via wherever you're watching. This is your boy Joker216 coming at you, aka Joker Bro. If you catch me on Dragon Ball Legends, that is my name. Feel free to shoot me a friend request. Feel free to just hit me up. I already started today's drawing. If you couldn't already guess from the silhouette or from the base, we're gonna draw Broly today, specifically Dragon Ball Super version. I had already started it, and then partway through, when I was laying it out, I decided to myself, why don't I go ahead and turn this into a drawing video since I did say I'd make one? And it's been, what, like a week? Like weeks since I made one? And I understand that some people really, really liked that previous drawing video. In fact, some of them actually subscribed and went to watch my old videos. My older videos, one where I drew Chi-Chi, others where I drew Goku, Vegeta. Back when I first started this YouTube channel, what, over 10 years ago? Yeah, I've had this YouTube channel for going on, I think either I already had it for 10 years or it's going on 10 years, one of the two. But yeah, uh, people really seem to enjoy the last one. Although, granted, last one I was basically treading in territory that I was unfamiliar with because, I only just got into Aizoken, so I don't know every little thing about it. I'm still not done watching the anime yet, so please do not spoil it for me if you have seen it. Do not try and convince me that Kanamori is not the best girl in that series. And do not try to tell me that it is overrated garbage because 9 times out of 10, people call things that are overrated garbage. I happen to end up liking. For example, the new Resident Evil 3 remake that just came out, people are calling it overrated trash, too short, not long enough, and it doesn't live up to Resident Evil 2, which, it's true. It definitely doesn't live up to it, but I still enjoyed it. I still got enjoyment out of it. I played through it twice. And before I continue talking too much, I'm going to go ahead and continue with what I was doing here. But yeah, I laid out a basic profile image of Super Brawly. I always find Super Brawly to be sort of, I don't want to say mysterious or edgy, but just kind of like, he has like this look of wonder to him. This look of wonder where he doesn't really know how the world works around him. And a lot of people, I just want to address something. I guess I could kind of rant a little bit about this. Not really rant or shame anybody for having this mindset, but there are people out there who think that Brawly was always a terrible character until Super came along and quote unquote revitalized slash revamped him and made him a better character. While I can understand your sentiment, I can understand why you would think something like that. I firmly disagree with that, but that's mostly because I have found a lot of things about classic Brawly that I really like. And yeah, a lot of it's mostly headcanon. And I think I said it in the last video about headcanons and how I really don't care for them. I don't care about people's headcanons. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and share mine. Original Brawly to me is sort of like a damaged, deranged psychopath, and the reason he's so damaged is not because he remembers Goku crying, but because he associates that crying and that wailing and that howling with arguably one of the worst experiences of his life. I'm not going to sit here and say I know the things. I'm not going to be one of those Dragon Ball YouTubers who talk about, oh, this is how it should have happened, this is what it happened, this is my theory. No, this is just what I think, and this is how I interpret classic Brawly, is that he is mentally damaged. He is mentally damaged, mentally scarred, because the last thing he remembers, presumably before everything just goes crazy psycho man, is he remembers getting stabbed as a baby, which would make anyone go nuts, I would feel. But anyways, getting that out of the way, I think that original Brawly is pretty cool. A lot of people don't think that, and that's fair. I can understand, but, I always get a little bit iffy and a little whenever people say, oh, old Brawly's nothing but just a guy who screams and, does all this power moves and stuff like that, which isn't true. If you watch even the first, like, if you only were to watch Brawly the Legendary Super Saiyan, you would see that he's actually he trash talks a lot. In fact, that's one of the things that I kind of miss about him in Dragon Ball Super Broly. I get it though, because in Dragon Ball Super Broly they were trying to do something different with him. They're trying to portray him in a very different light than you're used to. And I still love it, but at the same time, I do kind of miss trash talking Broly. But oh, and I know that I'm probably pissing people off with my pronunciation. It's supposed to be Broly. Oh, that's how Funimation pronounces it. That's how it's pronounced. Well, I've always pronounced it Broly, and it's kind of a habit. I'm not gonna sit here and say go screw yourself for for calling him anything different. But it's sort of like tomato tomato. They all mean the same things at the end of the day. There's really no point in getting super angry over something. So, anyways, we've got a good base here, I feel. I'm going to go ahead and start the inking process. Let me just get my pen tool. The strange thing about... Oh, zoomed in a little too much there. The strange thing about Dragon Ball Super Broly is how it sort of just ends. I don't know. Something about it. Like, I love the movie, but I don't like how abrupt it ends, and I also don't like how they made the fight between him and Gogeta so one-sided, which, again, began this whole debate of power levels, which is another thing that I kind of want to talk about and touch on here. This has nothing to do with my fandom of Brawly in particular. This has everything to do with the fact that I cannot stand this idea. Like, I can't stand this, like, power level arguments or power scaling arguments. Like, for example, personally, I find the character Jiren to be boring, drab, dull. I don't see anything redeemable about Jiren. I mean, I'm sure if you added some headcanon stuff into it, you could sort of redeem him. But for me personally, I don't think he's a good character. And there are people who do like him, and that's fine. But whenever I say I dislike him, immediately they just go like, "Oh, well, his power level, he's the strongest character," as if the only reason I like characters are because they're the strongest. Like people assume that I like Broly because he's strong. Clearly, that's not the case. I mean, yeah, when I was 15 years old, that's why I liked him because he was super strong. But I got older and I grew a bit of an appreciation for characters in general because as a kid, you don't really get wind of all this character development, character studies, whatever. But yeah, I'm really not a fan of people who just argue power levels and power scaling. Like, dude, at the end, this is all just made up bullshit. There's no point in debating who wins in a fight because it all depends on who the author wants to win. That's something that Stan Lee once said, I believe. If it wasn't Stan Lee, I'm sure it was somebody else that was quite as famous. I don't have the information at the top of my head right now, but if I remember correctly, someone asked Stan Lee, "Oh, who would win in a fight between this character and this character?" And I believe Stan Lee said, "Whoever I want to win." Which is a pretty good answer, honestly. It's the answer that I give whenever someone asks me, "Oh, you're going to write a fan fiction? Well, who's going to win in this fight?" Whoever I want to. Someone asked me to do a Brawly versus Jiren picture. I did. And immediately I got countered with, "Oh, but Jiren's portrayed to be super strong and let's debate power levels, bro." No. Let me just like who I like without having to justify why I like him. You know what I mean? Like people that like Jiren, I don't necessarily say, "Oh, you have to justify why you like him." No. I just I like my characters. Just I love Gohan. Gohan is one of my favorite. Like if Brawly is one of my most favorite characters in the series, Gohan is definitely up there. I've always been a Gohan fan. So yeah, I'm kind of used to being mocked. Oh man, I know I said that this newest drawing video I was going to draw Chi-Chi, but I figured it was appropriate today since I woke up and all day long Brawly was trending, which I thought was super cool. At first I thought it was because of some kind of announcement like, "Oh, Dragon Ball Super's coming back and they're going to adapt Dragon Ball Super Broly. Are we possibly going to get more scenes of Broly as a child? Are we going to see a straight saga of Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa as, Nappa being a babysitter to young Vegeta and young Raditz? That'd be pretty cool. Or maybe it was an announcement that, oh, Brawly's showing up in Super Dragon Ball Heroes. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, you know exactly what Super Dragon Ball Heroes is. It's this really cool fan service anime whose entire purpose is to sell you on this game, Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I played World Mission, and I really, really like it, but I cannot for the life of me. It's not that I can't get into the story; it's that I don't really know how to build decks yet. I really don't, and I've looked up tutorials on how to do it, and I just don't understand them. Which means that I either need to restart my game and study the battle systems, or just keep playing until eventually, Eureka! I got it. You know what I mean? Okay. I think I'm gonna do the scars last because everything else is just so much more important. Let me go ahead and get the some jaw action. Because, we need that strong Saiyan jaw. I'm so inconsistent with the way that I draw Brawly that it's kind of hilarious. Because sometimes I'll draw him like this in my style, other times my style will blend the actual Dragon Ball Z style, or the Dragon Ball Super style, sorry. Get that little Adam's apple action. Usually I would add a line here, but I feel like that looks dumb. Let me just lower the opacity of that layer and then go right back on top. Okay. Because I don't want to waste too much time, I figured I'd go ahead and just color his hair and eyes in black. If I were to go full hog and do this big extravagant thing, I'd add some highlights and whatnot. But I don't want to waste everyone's time. See, I'm so used to doing this live on stream to where I don't have to say anything that sometimes I'm in the middle of a thought and I forget what I'm saying. Mostly because I have conversations with my friends as I'm working. Oh, Jesus. See, don't do that. Don't do what I did, kids. Never do what I did. Okay. We've got the hair going on. Once the hair is all filled in, we should be pretty much home free. And all we'd have to do is draw the rest of the body. It's very comic book-esque. Let's see, the scars are going to be pretty exciting, I think. I don't know, a lot of people don't like that the new Brawly movie has essentially inspired a lot of people to create OCs with that cheek scar. Which is, it's not like that's the new original thing. I mean, Yamcha had that before. Are we really going to criticize people for making OCs? Like, hell, are we really going to criticize people for adapting a style? Because I remember seeing a post once where, a post on Twitter specifically, where this one guy was complaining about fan artists adapting the Shintani style. The one that was used for Dragon Ball Super Broly. And I'm just sitting there like, why exactly are you complaining about people trying to practice doing Shintani style? A lot of people like the style of the movie. But, you make it a point. It reminds me of those people that criticize the hell out of Toyotaro, who is the artist for Dragon Ball Super, the manga. It reminds me a lot of the criticisms against him, which always make me feel... It always makes me cringe a bit. Because you've got people who are just going like, oh, and, I'm not going to pretend like I'm innocent in this situation. I used to be the same way. I would criticize the hell out of Toyotaro's artwork. Be like, hire me, Toei, I'll do a better job. Yeah, I was like a cringy edgelord, but a lot of people are doing that now. And, they're older than I was at that point. It just makes me feel ashamed, I guess. Like, why go through the trouble of criticizing this mangaka? It reminds me of the people who criticize American comic artists if they so much as make a simple mistake, when the true reason why is because deadlines are kind of a bitch. And when you're working with deadlines, sometimes you can't make everything perfect. Okay. He's got a scar here, too. And what the hell? Let's add a little bit of some scratch marks because you like to think that Broly spends his time. He doesn't take a bath very often. At least not in the movie. Last time he took a bath was when they found him shipwrecked. We all know we all pretty much assume he knows how to bathe. Everyone knows how to bathe. Come on. I'm just gonna add some, these little scratch marks because Broly's a wild child. He likes to fight. His name is Finley, and he loves to fight. Jesus. You always got to be consistent with your marks too. Otherwise, it'll just look like, oh, this only this area is dirty. The rest of him is all clean. You know what? Let's cut in some whites here. Let me switch to my other tool. Let's cut in some whites. Just sort of round it all off. Make it look pretty. Make it look very pretty. Oh, nope. Not like that. Whew. Anyways. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for watching me draw Broly and simultaneously rant about things that kind of bother me. I guess about the Dragon Ball community, Don't power scale, don't power level arguments. Just don't argue with people who happen to like characters that you don't. You know what I mean? People are like, I don't like Jocko, but you don't see me slamming down hard on people who do like him. But anyways, that was me drawing Broly. Hope you enjoyed, honestly. Hope you come back for more. Subscribe if you want some more. Hey, let me know who you want me to draw in the next video. I love doing these, and I'm not always gonna have the idea of who to draw. I just came up with this on the fly. So if you want more drawing videos, be sure to let me know. And if you want to see me draw someone specifically, again, let me know. Let me know in the comments, either here on Twitter and any of my social medias. Just hey, let me know, bro. All right. Let's sign off here. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you around.